We welcome those of you who just saw the Baylor women knock off Arizona State in Waco. And we welcome you to the Air Force Academy in Colorado. Clute Arena, Nick Cope and Greg Herenda on hand for Air Force and San Diego State. The Aztecs tied for first in the Mountain West. Cam Sanders taking the shot here. He's got all 5 Air Force points. The Falcons had the early lead, but San Diego State, that defense has ratcheted up. They're on an 8-0 run to grab some early control.
Yeah, as we said, the Falcons want to play faster, but sometimes it's easier said than done. And Coach Dutcher's really, obviously, done a terrific job as we have a 30-second timeout. But it's hard to do. So right now, the defense of San Diego State is taking an early toll on the Air Force Falcons.
They have forced now 5 Air Force turnovers. San Diego State, a team that is without 2 of their starters tonight, Magoon Gloth and Elsie Harrington, both nursing some injuries. They expect them to be back in the near future, but this San Diego State team is so balanced. They got a bunch of guys that can score between 8 and 12 points, but in addition, a bunch of guys that can get you 5 rebounds, a couple of assists as well.
Block shots,
steals.
They have, as they call them back in New Jersey, they got dudes that can play and that do a lot. So if a guy has to step out, guess what? They have another player stepping up. Impressive roster put together by San Diego State.
Corner 3 is pure for B.J. Davis. He's got 7 early points for San Diego State. Davis has been starting for the injured Harrington. And they've got 3 different guys that can play the point guard, including Davis, and he's filled that role nicely. And there's a steal on the defensive end. San Diego State out and running. Simmons hit from behind, and now Air Force wants to push. It's Patterson firing cross court. Brendan Martin can't get that shot off, but there's the backdoor cut. Count it, plus the foul.
There's the Princeton offense. Scylla Husky at the high post. And a great cut. You know, on the other end, you block shots, and now you come back and you play faster. Great cut. The overplay of San Diego State will play into the favor of the Falcons on those back cuts.
That snaps a dry spell of several minutes for Air Force after Sanders made the first couple of buckets to start the game. And that's been the issue for Air Force, just the offense goes through these 4 to 5 minute dry spells. Davis lost the handle, able to get back to it. It was Jill who got a hand in there, but Simmons with the size advantage there inside rises up for an easy 2.
Yeah, Ty Simmons is a tiger in the paint. He's a rebounder, finisher. He won't do anything outside the paint. But what he does well, he does it, and he finishes. A really strong power player for the Aztecs.
A real tough freshman from outside L.A.
Yeah, so San Diego State, they go to the bench, and they get better. And they turn people over. The opportunity for some of these guys to get more minutes is really enticing. And right now, the defense of San Diego State is causing havoc for the Falcons offensively. Falcons not taking care of the ball the way they should with 7 early turnovers.
These teams met back in mid-December. It was the conference opener in San Diego, and it was a 3-point game at halftime before San Diego State pulled away in the second half. And in fact, last year in this building, San Diego State needed a buzzer beater to win. Dixon Waters forcing the issue, and will head to the foul line.
No, Nick, they're going to compete. Now, the Falcons are tough players. They're tough students.
13-7, Aztecs on top. San Diego State has put together a 13-2 run over the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds. And during that time, they've turned over Air Force 7 times.
Yeah, that is the recipe for disaster. And again, it's really hard to take care of the basketball against the Aztecs, but it's a must. Playing a little bit quicker, getting downhill, if you go side to side against athletic basketball teams, you're going in the wrong direction.
Reese Dixon Waters goes 2 for 2, all 4 of his points at the charity stripe. He's coming off a game against Wyoming where he had a season-high 23 points, most he scored in a game in 3 years. All the way down the lane and blocked from behind. Eli Robinson rejected. And now in transition, Dixon Waters with a reverse layup. Defense right into offense.
That's San Diego State basketball. He got downhill, but they protected the rim, got it out really quickly, and a great finish by Dixon Waters. What a player he is, Nick.
Already 6 points. Him and B.J. Davis leading the way for San Diego State, which when this game started and was a couple minutes old, the Aztecs trailed 5-0. Thanks to this man, Cam Sanders. Cross court, Justin Hines lost the handle and then fouled from behind.
Now, if you want to see Sandy, this is the highlight film right here. Downhill, block the shot, protect the rim, outlet, one dribble, and a great finish. And that's the recipe. That's why you go to the tournament. That's why you win 20 games. That's why you go to the championship game. And his teams, Coach Dutcher's teams, play this way no matter who's on the floor. You have to, they talked about it this morning, you have to defend to play as an Aztec.
Well, Simmons there had the block and then picked up his second foul, so he went to the bench. And you see all the white shirts collapsing in, and it's Heide emerging with the basketball. Now Taj DeGorville getting his first reps here tonight. But Heide wants to go to work on the block. Working against Daring. Cross court. On the baseline, Newman to Bird. Still plenty of time here on the shot clock. Bird spinning around. And off the front of the rim, the rebound tracked down by Greenberg.
Good defensive stand right now. You know, the score is 10. Just make stops, get good shots. There's no panic mode in the first half here for the Falcons.
Bounce pass into Robinson. Double team comes, kicks across court. Greenberg rise fire and short on the corner three. He's coming off back-to-back games in double figures. Newman to the corner for DeGorville. And too strong. Another rebound for the point guard, Sanders. He's pushing up for Greenberg. And now Air Force settles into their half-court set. Sanders spins, draws the defense. And the three missed it all, did Eli Robinson. Some decent looks from the outside, but Air Force just not finding the bottom of the cup right now. And there's a foul against Daring as Heide had him beat.
Yeah, Nick, the looks are decent, but when you have these white jerseys flying out at you and pressuring you, it's just an entirely different game. And it's hopefully our fans out there can understand and see it. San Diego plays as good a defense as people do within the entire country. They really do, and it speeds you up, even though it looks like Air Force is playing slow.
Well, this is by a lot of metrics the top defensive team in the Mountain West. Bird with the deke and the finish. Miles Bird in the scoring column for the first time tonight. Some question of whether he would play, dealing with ankle and toe injuries, but he's a guy who can play through a lot.
Hey, Nick, players play.
Deep three, around and out for Lucas Hoban. Offensive rebound. Robinson is rejected, but Greenberg tracks it down. Now it's Patterson attacking, and he's blocked from behind. Miles Heide again. It seems like San Diego State is inviting that. They've had a lot of blocks from trail position.
They play good positional defense. They're quick and athletic to the basketball, so there's really no easy baskets for the Falcons tonight.
Second chance points for Miles Heide off the miss from Dixon Waters. And San Diego State up by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, getting back to Bird, like players, like right there, he's going for the double team. You know, this morning he was limping around. Tonight he's running around. So impressive.
That basketball did not touch the floor on its way to B.J. Davis. San Diego State now on a 23-2 run.
Yeah, you know, it's amazing what happens when the lights go on. The players come out, the fans come out. He's just his dad was a great player, at Villanova back in the day. So he's been brought up to play through pain and to make plays. Exciting young man.
Bird, a redshirt junior, second-year starter, and he spent all 4 years so far at San Diego State. A bit of a rare bird.
Yeah, it's a testament to Bird, a rare bird. You got me right there, Nick. That's a good one. I like it. But I think if you're in a program like this, why you want to leave? Number one, you live in San Diego, California.
America's finest city.
Finest city. You're playing for a great coach. You're going to tournaments, and you're getting better, and you have the ball in your hand. So it's some players, the portal is for some, but not for Bird, and not for a lot of guys. It's, and that's the difficult thing about Air Force with the portal. That's not a vehicle that they can use. Subsequently, they have 9 players that are freshmen playing. That's unheard of in college basketball. But Bird is special. He has fun. He's fun to watch. Block shots, steals the ball. So he plays both sides of the floor.
Yeah, you mentioned Air Force unable to bring in transfers, but guys transfer out. And listen to some of the schools that they've lost guys to over the last few years. Clemson, Cal, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Utah State, major programs, and the only way they can replace those players is by bringing in a freshman.
And that doesn't work in today's game. It really, really doesn't. As you see now, San Diego State extending their pressure with Sanders out of the basketball game.
Air Force looking for their first points in 4.5 minutes. It's Patterson with the ball using that screen from Silahusky. And they get it in on the block. Down to 8 to shoot. Colby Gill. Silahusky to Gill. Top of the key. Have to get it off, and they do just in time, and a splash. Ethan Greenberg. And that snaps a nearly 5-minute scoring drought for Air Force.
That is what the doctor ordered, a late, tough 3 by Greenberg. Big hoop for the Falcons.
Greenberg, a guy with no hesitation, and couldn't afford to have any of it there. To Goreville. Now Patterson off his feet, and he's fouled. Patterson got him right on the arm.
San Diego State has guys that can just score the basketball. Like, they go inside, they find people around the bucket, they make threes, they score in transition. They're just really hard to guard.
San Diego State with the early lead, 23-10 here at Clune Arena. Air Force Academy with their special Space Force uniforms tonight. And if you're going to knock off San Diego State, you got to find a way to take care of the basketball. And it's been tough sledding in that regard for the Falcons. San Diego State leads by 13. They've got 13 off of turnovers.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room, really. The tough defense of San Diego State against the offense right now doesn't look fast. It looks tentative. And it's, again, a tough spot to be in, playing against the top team in the Mountain West. But at home, you got to come out offensively and bring it. And if they turn it over with positive play, I'll take it. But the complacent turnovers we just can't have if you're an Air Force fan.
And that San Diego State press is so strong that Sanders does well to break it all by himself. He had those first 5 points to give Air Force that 5-0 lead, but there's an ill-advised pass. 2 Aztecs in the area. It's DeGorville up ahead for Heide. And with patience, he finishes. 4 points for Miles Heide.
Heide's a great, if you can call a 7-foot guy a complimentary player, he's a great compliment to all the players on this team. Right there, a great catch, great finish.
And at the other end, a 3 goes. Cam Sanders, he's got 8 of Air Force's 13. There's Heide under the basket again, and he is just feasting. And that's a situation where if you're Air Force, you got to do your work early on the big fella.
100%.
Steal for Bird. Nobody between him and the bucket.
Yeah, just more and more Aztecs. They seem to multiply on the floor. They have 5 guys on the floor, and it just seems like they're everywhere, and especially tonight.
And just living around the basket, a 22-4 edge on points in the paint. The other night against Wyoming, they had a 38-10 advantage against the Pokes. Cross court, shot clock winding down. Hoban short on the 3. Good closeout there from DeGorville.
They're fundamentally sound, the Aztecs.
And at the other end, DeGorville knocks down the triple.
And they're talented. So you put those two pieces together. It's really it's a tough task tonight for the Falcons. Yeah, again, just theft open in the open court. Bird he's really long. His arms and his legs are long. He anticipates well. Again, we talked about his father and the genes, but I think the Aztecs, they have good genes too. I mean, really impressive stuff.
And here is their resume. 44 in the net and 11 seeds. So they're a bubble team right now. They need to rack up some of those quad 1 wins down the stretch. They're 1-5 in quad 1, the 1 win at Nevada. But down the stretch, you're going to have some of those opportunities against the likes of Utah State, New Mexico, Boise State.
100%. And they pass. I know the eye test is like less and less a factor. They pass that.
They look like a tournament team.
They look like a tournament. They look like a pro team tonight.
They've got 6 steals, do the Aztecs, and they've made 6 consecutive buckets.
Yeah, they're aggressive. And again, you know, when you're up 20 points in the first half, you know, that kind of a foul will go unlooked at. But when you're playing in games, you can't now take your aggressiveness and foul. That's one of the things that coach was talking about this morning. They really work on defense, but they can't overcommit, foul, and put people to the foul line. But tonight, I think they're all jacked up. They all want to steal every single pass, and they're almost doing that.
And they have forced Air Force to spend 3 first-half timeouts. Hoban inside, Daring. 5 to shoot. Thundering, rising up. A wild shot will not fall, and DeGorville wipes away the rebound. Odin, quick release. Ball batted around. Farrell Compton has it, but loses it out of bounds. Been wearing that mask for the last few games.
Yeah, I like the see-through mask, actually.
Well, I noticed he's been kind of color coordinating. They wore black at home the other night, and he had kind of an Aztecian-inspired mask, black and red. They're wearing the whites here on the road. He's got the opaque mask.
Hey, this day and age, you have to style, man. And but more importantly than style, they have substance. They're impressive. My first sighting of them this morning and this evening, they're an impressive club.
It'll stay here with Air Force. The missed 3 from Lucas Hoban. Compton, the sophomore out of Chicago and one of the best shot blockers in the Mountain West. Picking up Daring here. Working with Robinson. Plenty of time here on the shot clock.
Again, the Aztecs keeping the Falcons way, way away from the basket, making it difficult, getting shots late. But guess what? Greenberg, that man can shoot it. And I guess he likes it late in the clock, too.
Yeah, it's the second three-pointer with the red light coming on.
Yep. Yeah, he's an impressive shooter. Has a brother that plays college basketball.
Oh, throw it up, throw it down. Farrell Compton off the feed from Taj DeGorville. And now here's DeGorville with the loose ball. He'll back it off for Dixon Waters. Back to Compton. Kick to the corner. Odin's 3 is good.
Yeah, you talk about playing the perfect game, like that Air Force needed to play the perfect game to stay in it. Guess what? The Aztecs, other than Greenberg and Sanders, but the Aztecs right now are playing almost a perfect game. They're really doing what they want to do offensively and defensively.
I was going to say that defensive possession was the only thing that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
That was a target practice look for Greenberg. Nobody within 15 feet.
Well, I think, back in the day, I coached with George Blaney, who was the head coach at Seton Hall, against Syracuse's zone. And he always said, the first time you're open, shoot it, because you might not get a shot after that.
There's Hoban for three again, so that's now 6 triples for Air Force.
Yep.
And that forces a timeout from Brian Dutcher.
Yeah, there's no quit in the Falcons. Absolutely none. They have to make threes. Threes will get them back in the basketball game. The threes gave San Diego State the lead. 3 balls galore.
3:05 to go in the first half here at the Air Force Academy, and back-to-back triples by the Falcons, forcing San Diego State to burn a timeout. 6 threes for Air Force, letting them hang around here.
Take care of the ball and get late shots for Greenberg and early shots for Sanders. So you're navigating the game while you're playing it. It looks like they're going to try potentially to play some zone here, which could slow down the Aztecs. So good move here by the coaching staff at Air Force.
Kind of a 3-2 zone look here from the Air Force. 24 points in the paint for San Diego State. Davis swings it around. Bird for 3. And Compton tips it in on the weak side.
Yeah, that was a really good defensive possession by the Falcons, but now Compton is so long and so big and so talented to tap that in, so it kind of defeats the possession. But that zone looked really good. So did that block.
And guess who? Pharaoh Compton on the defensive end, calling for a lob, but too many bodies in the lane. DeGorville strong on the runner. Rebound collected by Silahusky. The Air Force with just 2 two-point field goals in this first half. Silahusky kicks to the corner. Don't think he realized he had a decent look at the rim there. Trying to post up Bird with position. And right on cue, there's 2-point field goal number 3.
And it comes back to the big man. It was a great pass for the 3. He had the 2. Good defense by the Aztecs. It comes back to Silahusky. He knows what to do with it.
He's one of the few juniors for Air Force out of Georgetown, Indiana. Grew up on a farm raising chickens and pigs. As Taj DeGorville answers at the other end for San Diego State, his second bucket.
Smooth player right there, just like a little inside out. Very good offensive move and play. They're talented.
And Bird wipes away what was some good footwork from Robinson to get a step. Trailing DeGorville 3.
Yeah, that's a tough rebound by the Falcons. A team rebound. 1 shot only.
Quick release. Hoban off the front of the rim. Rebound for B.J. Davis. Final minute of this opening half. Bird from well behind the line. In and out. Well, San Diego State starting to get 3 happy here over the last couple minutes.
Yeah, when you get a big lead, now the pressure is off, and now you want to score the basketball, but that's a great cut.
There's the backdoor cut. Eli Robinson, his first points. And that's textbook Princeton offense right there.
Yeah, that's more of what it looks easy when it happens, and why don't you do it all the time? But when you reverse the ball and look for it, you have a really good passer. Guys, they work on it every day. Last shot here for the Aztecs.
It's Davis winding things down, and from the edge of the logo, knocks down the 3 to send us to halftime. The exclamation point on a strong first 20 minutes for SDSU.
He's a point guard, but that was the logo end of the first half.
12 points for B.J. Davis. And at the break, San Diego State up 45-26 on Air Force. Set to start the second half here at the United States Air Force Academy, just north of Colorado Springs, about an hour drive south of Denver. And San Diego State in control as we begin the second half. Nick Cope, Greg Herenda on hand. Aztecs led by as many as 22 in the opening 20 minutes. And by 19 here as we start the second 20 minutes. San Diego State doing everything well, including shooting the basketball. And there is B.J. Davis picking up right where he left off, up to 14 points to lead all scorers. He likes playing Air Force. When these teams met in San Diego in December, had a team-high 19 points.
That's for sure. And right there, he got in the lane. He looked like he was going to throw the lob up to the big guy and took the shot himself. It was a great shot to start the second half, getting the ball back into the paint.
Eli Robinson caught in a tough spot there, and a turnover for Air Force. That has been the issue so far tonight. Falcons now up to 13 of them. Miles Heide spinning around, and another friendly roll for San Diego State. And Heidi's done a little bit of everything. He's scoring, rebounding. Yeah. He's got a couple blocks as well.
Right there, way too much space to operate. You know, so there was no foul. It was one-on-one, and he's got that extension of his left hand that's really, really hard to guard. He's a significant piece to the puzzle for the Aztecs.
Trying to lob it inside, but Scylla Huskies staying home. So 2 buckets on one end, 2 turnovers on the other.
Not the start that the Falcons wanted to come out. They ended the half making a bunch of threes, but the turnovers leading to buckets for the Aztecs is just not the recipe for success.
6 3-pointers in the first half for Air Force. And they get a turnover generated of their own. Scylla Husky getting a hand in there. That's the first turnover committed by San Diego State since the opening 3 minutes of the game. And there's a 3 right on cue for Lucas Hoban, his second. Hoban and Greenberg, they're the 2 sharpshooters for this Air Force team.
Made 5 threes earlier in the year versus Nevada, so they have the ability. They just need to get open, be confident, and let it fly.
Bird steps behind the line. And a rebound for Sanders. He's got 4 boards to go along with 8 points. Cutting is Robinson. And banks it off the window.
Nick, there's nothing like seeing the basketball go in the basket. It's very simple. The confidence level picks up, and then normally you become a better defensive team as well. So the Falcons have to score it, get their defense going, and take care of the basketball.
Davis, a little floater. B.J. Davis doing what he wants tonight.
Yeah, Davis is a point guard, but guess what? He's a scoring guard / scoring guard. He can really, and he gets to places effortlessly.
Another entry pass for Scylla Husky, and the big fellow is going away from the block. To the block here for SDSU. Oden spinning off the window for 2. Cash there for Jeremiah Oden, the senior from Chicago.
Just a lot of players that can score, but now they're scoring too easy. They're getting the ball wherever they want to, and that's a problem for the Falcons. There has to be a little bit more opposition, a little bit more fight in their defense, just like that for the Aztecs.
Suffocating on Greenberg, and Heide with the 2-hand flush with authority.
From North Bend, Washington.
Mount Si High School.
Love that. Just sounds like a great town in Washington.
A beautiful country. And there's a cut. Sanders dumps it off, and Robinson answers.
That's Falcon basketball right there. We can bottle that and repeat it. So it's obviously 2 different styles, but both teams can produce, but San Diego State just producing at will.
A lot of offense to start the second half. Teams are now a combined 9 for 11 after that made jumper from Reese Dixon Waters.
Yeah, it just seems like the pressure's off both teams. So offensively, guys are ready to shoot and pull the basketball. But you just cannot give the ball back to the guys in the white jerseys.
Oden, the poster off the feed from Bird. Timeout on the floor as San Diego State has built a 26-point lead.
Yeah, again, defense to offense. You know, they two guys blocked the shot, and now we go and we dunk it. Strong, Heidi, the big boy from the state of Washington.
Brian Dutcher's Aztecs have opened up a 26-point lead. Jeremiah Oden with a thunderous dunk in traffic moments ago, but hit with a technical foul for what came after.
Yeah, a little bit too much hanging, looking, taunting, talking. No need for it. But again, you play in college basketball in this kind of environment on the road. You get excited, over the top. Again, guess what? The end result, he finds the bench. Coach Dutcher, he doesn't play. You got to guard, you got to do things right. But again, that the defense creating the offense is just really impressive stuff.
26 points off turnovers tonight for San Diego State. The technical free throws being shot by Lucas Hoban. Freshman out of Katy, Texas, who was a McDonald's All-American nominee out of high school, growing up in the Houston area. So Oden on the bench, and despite Magoon Guath and Elsie Harrington continuing to be sidelined, Brian Dutcher still has plenty at his disposal. Basketball, the Air Force, which has shot it well so far in the second half, but they've turned it over 4 times. Similar story from the first half. Hines needs some help. DeGorville all over him. Got that dribble back after it was knocked free. 4 on the timer. A.J. Patterson into the lane, forcing it up. Battle for the rebound, and it's claimed by Tay Simmons. Took some contact up high. San Diego State trying to hold serve to stay atop the Mountain West. Sean Newman Jr. about to shoot a couple of free throws.
Looked like Newman was thrown up for a lob. Newman, a really good distributor of the basketball. He can really pass it, but there, they're giving him 2 free throws, and it looked like to me it was a pass, but nonetheless, 2 free throws.
And you talk about distributing over the last 5 games now. 13 assists, 2 turnovers for your backup point guard.
Last year, he had 245 assists at La Tech, number 3 nationally. I mean, so this guy gives it up, and he's good to play with. And he's got a lot of really good players to play with to give the ball to. So again, you know, people are down on the portal, and I am, but guess what? For the right people at the right time, it works.
There's another block for Pharaoh Compton. Eli Robinson looked like he had a clear avenue. And at the other end, Compton with the lob finish. I mean, he has just been living above the rim this entire game. Scoop pass inside, couldn't be handled by Daring. There's Compton keeping it in play.
Yeah, very active big man on both ends of the floor. Fun to watch.
Winds up on the ground after trying to set that screen. DeGorville going to work. Falling away. Simmons the offensive rebound, and he's fouled.
I don't think Coach Dutcher is really a fan of the turnaround hanging in the air. I think he wants to move the basketball more. The energy comes from the basketball, but they're good enough to take a bad shot and get the offensive rebounds. Not many teams can do that, This guy is a tiger on the glass right here. Really impressive, great body, always around the basketball. Yeah, it's just, they just keep on coming. Ty Simmons, man.
Out of Heritage Christian in Los Angeles, very good prep program. 4-star recruit, top 50 nationally. And as a freshman, a regular in the rotation. Bright future for San Diego State. A 1-for-2 trip there for the freshman.
Yeah, without Sanders on the floor, Nick, it's really tough sledding offensively because they don't have anyone to really break anybody down and create for himself or others.
Simmons with a nice baseline spin, kicks it out after drawing the defense, and a cashed three by Sean Newman Jr., his first bucket from the floor.
That's going to make Coach Dutcher really happy. Get the ball inside, turn, kick out. Those shots are 50, 60, 70% shots when the ball is coming from the paint.
And Air Force turns it over once more, unfortunately, for the Falcons.
You know, I played way back in the day with no line and no clock. But if you're a point guard and you catch that ball stepping into it, I might even be able to make that at some point in time in my career. But it's
sure you could.
It's so important to play inside out. At Fairleigh Dickinson University, I recruited. Everything was inside out, and it just usually works out well when you try to do everything from far away. Not so much.
Compton, the one-hand finish.
That was outside in and high.
It's like they heard you. I said, Coach,
yeah,
we can do outside in.
We can do it all, and they're doing it tonight. I know it's Air Force, but I think another plane took off. It was an Aztec.
Hines scooping it up, and will shoot a pair at the foul line. And Compton is just so explosive.
Yeah, you know, like just again, Newman. Now you know why he has so many assists. He just looks for others. Great touch on the pass. The lob pass is really a shot that's directed outside of the rim. So for you boys and girls out there, if you want to make a lob and you have someone you can throw it to, it's not as hard as people make it. It's a shot left or right of the rim, and it gives a good trajectory. So now a play can go up and two-hand dunk it.
And it helps when you got a guy like Pharaoh Compton, who's got a big catch radius, to use a football term.
Yeah.
As you see Miles Bird working through something there. He was in the tunnel walking around. Ankle and toe injuries, we were told, and he was questionable. And now, after jogging around, he's coming to the scorer's table.
I think halftime is tough because, you know, you have 15 minutes of nothing. And I'm sure the trainers are all over him. Got a great training staff here for both squads. But, you know, he wants more burn. He wants more time. It's just, it keeps on rolling. The band keeps on playing for the Aztecs tonight.
Another bucket there for Tay Simmons. San Diego State wants to get healthy here over the next couple of weeks. Certainly don't want anything to get worse for Bird. And then get Harrington, get Guath healthy here for this final push. There's a three in the corner. Justin Hines with his first bucket from the floor. And the threes keep falling for the Falcons.
And again, Justin Hines, he's a good basketball player, but he's a true freshman. He's a freshman from Wilmington, Delaware, playing against guys that have played at 4 different schools and that have played in NCAA tournaments. It's just a really difficult task.
And trying to keep Reese Dixon Waters in front of him there. Free throws for San Diego State when we return. San Diego State fans always travel well, and they have made their way to the Centennial State for the final scheduled meeting between the Aztecs and the Falcons. And San Diego State in control. Brian Dutcher and his Aztecs tied with Utah State for first place in the Mountain West. So this is now 3 times under Brian Dutcher that San Diego State has at least 10 wins in its first 12 conference games. The other 2 times, 2020, when they were on their way to being a 1 or 2 seed, and then COVID hit. And then 3 years ago in 2023, when they were the national runner-up.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to win league conference games. So people will hear that stat. I mean, it's just so impressive. And this league, now I coached in the Big East. I coached in the Ivy League. I've coached all over the country. This is a really, really good league. So to do that is saying it's impressive is an understatement, to say the least.
We saw Miles Byrd return, was loosening things up, and now back on the floor. Oh, this is a San Diego State team that projected right on the bubble for the moment, but they get healthy. Nobody's going to want any part of the Aztecs in March. High arcing shot goes down. That's a 2 for Brendan Martin. He's got 4 points.
Yeah, 3-point shooter, but there, when you get guys closing out hard, shot fake, dribble shot in rhythm.
Brendan, another freshman, grew up in Huntsville, Alabama. And off there for Byrd, the crossover into the lane, defers to the corner. DeGorville knifes inside, falling away. And Simmons deflects it into the bench. Air Force basketball.
Still in that possession, the movement, the ball moved. They find people, they're unselfish collectively, and didn't make the shot, but still a positive offensive possession.
And that's their MO on the offensive end. Second in the Mountain West, about 16 assists per game. Here's Cam Sanders. Left his feet. Silahusky able to track it down. All kinds of traffic. And he's fouled by Heide.
Yeah, Heidi's a big man in the paint and defense. He's a space eater, along with the athletic wings. But Heide can really help you on both ends of the floor. Impressive big man.
Sanders lost it off his foot.
Yeah, it's just difficult. You have a nice crowd here. People are getting behind the basketball team. They're going through a tough patch, right? But don't hurt yourself by kicking the ball into the crowd and turning the ball over. That's just the one thing you cannot do against this club.
And they're up to 20 of them now. Off the miss from Byrd. Sanders carries it forward. San Diego State just forcing everything out onto the perimeter. Martin, quick release, missed it all. Orville's got it. Up ahead for Byrd. Looking to back down Sanders. Thinks better of the fall away. Moves it forward to Gorville. Time here in the half court. Heide drills it. It's the second 3 of the season for Miles Heide. Up to 13 for the ball game.
Heide said, "Why not me?" I mean, he does so much dirty work. He deserves that. Good things happen to good people, and Heide just today at the shoot-around, you could just see him. He's got a good spirit and sense of self and team. He's a fun one.
Silahusky got the dunk, and DeGorville the floater.
I'll tell you one thing, DeGorville plays like he's in slow motion. He does everything with ease. The game slows down for DeGorville, and it's impressive.
And no one is speeding him up. Silahusky, nice move, got some space, but couldn't finish the job. And some defense at the other end for Air Force. Sanders dishes for Jill, and he's fouled.
Yeah, the Falcons are not giving up. It's a really tough road. This kid Gills is so strong. But they're continuing to play. The changing of coaches is difficult for the players, for everyone. But the guys continue to give effort and work hard. It's really good to see. It's just the talent level, the experience, the age. It just adds up to a difficult task for Air Force.
And Colby Gill at the line, one of those few juniors trying to bring this group of 9 freshmen along and up to speed. Grew up in Chicago, St. Ignatius College Prep. And he goes 1 for 2 at the line. He's in the scoring column now tonight. He exits, and Lucas Hoban enters.
Now it looks like the Falcons employing a 1-3-1 defense, but the rim is just not protected. So they tried to take away the perimeter, but you have to protect, again, inside-out defense. You have to protect the rim, and right there, they went right at him.
Another dunk for Jeremiah Oden, the 6th-year senior and 24-year-old. And at the rim, a lay-in. Ethan Greenberg moving without the basketball. He's the first Falcon in double figures with 11.
Yeah, Silla Husky, he's lives on that high post backdoor cut. I think down the road, San Diego State needs to do a better job at deflecting passes as well as blocking shots. But great pass by Silla Husky.
Thakbor Majok getting some run, but he turns it over here, the 7-footer out of South Sudan. Trying to play some defense here as Sanders drives inside. And free throws for the Falcons when we come back.
Hey, Nick, I'll tell you one thing.
What's that?
When it rains, it pours. And this guy right here, bucket for the big man.
BJ Davis has been the leading man tonight for San Diego State. 16 points on a perfect 7-for-7 shooting.
Nick, he doesn't miss. And this morning I was watching him shoot. I'm saying, this kid's a point guard. You're talking logo, corner, pull up with ease. I mean, and as a freshman, he averaged like 1.2 points a game. So being perseverant and paying your dues is paying off. And he's a Falcon killer is what he is.
Had a team-high 19 points in the first meeting back in December, leading San Diego State with 16 tonight. And you refer to his freshman season, really blossomed last year as a sophomore, moved into a starting role, 9 points per game, had a bunch of steals. This year, back into a reserve role, although as of late playing for the injured Harrington.
When your opportunity presents itself, you have to just step up. And he does it. He doesn't force the issue either. He's but the entire team they don't force. The only thing they really do force is on the defensive end. They're just trying to block and steal, and maybe being a little bit more solid down the stretch against the higher echelon teams in the conference. But Davis, just a tremendous night.
Miles Heide looking on. He's got a season-high 13 points. And that seated position there from Heide kind of illustrates the mood right now for San Diego State and their fans. They are comfortable. And the redshirt freshman had a putback opportunity, but denied and hit with a loose ball foul.
Yeah, I think he went over the top. He stayed on it. Got a great opportunity, just didn't get the roll. It's going to come. He's a guy that doesn't get a lot of minutes. Worked hard this morning in practice. And how about bringing in like a 7'2" with a wingspan? You've got some weapons if you're Coach Dutcher.
Little late getting over off that screen, though. Silla Husky with 2 more. He's up to 6. And, yeah, the bench was about to erupt there for Majok on the last possession because He has scored 2 points all season in 24 previous minutes. Dixon Waters, deep runner. Nothing but net. Hoban, well short. Majok, a guy who only began playing basketball in the last 5 years. Now it's Oden going to work. Nice slip.
I mean, that's too easy. You know, like if you're going to beat your man, that's one thing, but there's got to be another man there to help your teammate out, and that's where San Diego State stretches people. But
well, Oden's so quick with all that length.
It's a lot easier saying that here. He's a talented long dude. He's been to force. He's been in so many arenas. So he knows what to do with the basketball when he gets it.
Dixon Waters pull up three. And the rebound tracked down by Sanders. Hoban with the shot fake. He'll drive and rejected. Majok there. Second career block for the big fella.
Majok's a little bit winded too, Nick. We got to watch him. He came down the floor there and he's sucking for some air, but when you don't play a lot and you want to play, then it's a different ballgame when you get out there. And good for Majok. He got a timeout right there so he can sit down and catch his breath a little bit.
Well, it is 6,000 feet elevation here in Colorado Springs. San Diego State in control, 5 to play. All San Diego State in this one, 85-49 in favor of the Aztecs. And as they often do, getting that balanced production. 5 in double figures, led by the 16 from B.J. Davis, but Miles Heide, the junior forward, with a season-high 13 as well.
Yeah, again, Heide does so much dirty work. He deserves to get shots and points and buckets. But again, incredible depth. But Heide was immense tonight. Davis missed one shot, so 2 great performances.
Able to live in the paint. 52 points in the painted area for San Diego State. That's the most they've had in a conference game this year. And shooting 70% inside the three-point arc. In a rare turnover there, just the 5th, as Pharaoh Compton was looking for a 3rd lob finish.
Compton needs to catch the ball at times with 2 hands. He does everything with 1 hand. So if you catch a bad pass with 2 hands,
you can throw it back into somebody.
You retain possession. So sometimes we don't have to. If it's a bad lob, just catch it and get it back to your guard, or catch it and go make an offensive play.
Compton got a deflection, couldn't get the steal, and now he does. And Newman leads the break.
Wow.
Tough pass for Simmons, but he does gather it. Simmons wants it. Little shake off the window. Karam's out. Hines the rebound.
You know, Nick, a lot of times in these kind of quote-unquote blowouts, you stop playing defense. San Diego State does not. They guard every possession.
Tough shot there for Riley Daring. I would expect nothing less from Brian Dutcher's club.
That's a staple, his signature. It's every day.
If you got 40 minutes to get better, why waste any of it? Compton jarred free, and this time a foul. 3:26 to go. All Aztecs tonight, back for the finish after this. San Diego State with its largest lead of Mountain West Conference play this season, up by 36 here for the final 3.5 minutes. Air Force with 3 out of the next 5 here at home. Short drive for Colorado State to come on down here on Tuesday. San Diego State got a tough stretch. They do have a week off before they take on Nevada, but 4 out of those next 5 feature teams that are right beside them or immediately below them in the conference standings.
Yeah, those are all games that are going to be pivotal for the NCAA tournament seeding for the Mountain West. There's no nights off for San Diego State when they get back. So it's never an easy road to Mountain West, but this February is going to be a serious month for the Aztecs.
Those last two games, home for Utah State and then at New Mexico, those are quad one opportunities. And then immediately after that, at Boise State, that's another quad one opportunity. So 3 consecutive quad one games coming up at the end of February.
So important for the NCAA tournament, playing against teams. We had a great bucket for the Falcons. Playing against teams that can help your net, help you, as opposed to playing teams that actually a win can hurt you in this day and age. Yeah, Ajax just a little bit late getting over. He's a tall drink of water, but he's got to move his feet before moving his arms.
A 3-point play opportunity now for Riley Daring as Josh Katete, junior out of Granger, Indiana, checks in. Spot minutes for him throughout the season as Daring converts.
Yeah, again, Daring is he's going to be a good player, but he's just a freshman playing against these guys now for the second time. But Daring is talented. Air Force has talent, but they're just too young.
Cam Leween out there for San Diego State as Brian Dutcher has emptied the bench a little bit. Couple of walk-ons in there. Ajak calling for it. Pass a little bit high. All of Air Force's wins coming back in November. So a losing streak that will extend to 16 games now. Playing in the tough Mountain West and non-conference, took on 5 teams who are first place in their conference right now.
There's no escaping. They're playing against good teams, but right there, like Sanders, just got kneed in the thigh. Like he's locking so many. The attrition factor comes in when you have freshmen and good freshmen, but to play against the high-level Mountain West caliber players, it's just it's a tough road, and the staff feels it, the fans feel it, but they're playing hard, they're trying, but now just turnovers, protect the basket, rebound, fundamentals, something that the Falcons have to just keep on pounding away at.
And Sanders will check out, knocks down those 2 free throws, and clearly hobbled. Leween and here Raymar Gonzalez, a couple of non-scholarship players out there for SDSU, and Leween pulls up. And a tie-up between Jill and Majak. We'll send it the other way.
Yeah, you know what? The walk-ons came in the game, and on the defensive end, really in good position, good defensive stance. There, he's open, and in practice you might make that, but now it's the lights are on and not so much. But you can just tell a well-coached team when the defense right now by the 2 guys at the top, it looks like they're going to a little bit of a zone now to man-to-man. I'm sorry, never zone, but they guard. They're taught. And it's a testament to San Diego State coaching staff.
Martin misfires from 3. Majak, physical rebound in traffic. Gorville whips it. 3 ball. A little bit short from Leween. He's looking for it.
Yep.
The junior from Chicago. He's got 11 points on the year. This is Elliott Tate. Down to 8 to shoot. 3 ball. A little bit strong there from Tate. Offensive rebound, Daring. Tate blocked from behind by DeGorville. It'll stay with Air Force.
They're competing right down to the wire. But again, San Diego State, they don't even know what they really play like they don't know what the score is. They're just going to protect the basket, block shots, and play Aztec basketball until the horn goes off.
The standard is the standard when you're playing at San Diego State. Tate, tough shot off the window. Rebound out to Simmons. San Diego State going to make it 14 wins out of their last 17 games. Get to 11-2 in Mountain West play. Louis gets the friendly bounce. The walk-on in the scoring column.
He wants his, I think his shoe might have came off, or he wants to tie his shoe, man.
Yeah, it's untied.
There's 25 seconds to go. We're not going to stop this game.
Stumbling inside, off the mark there for Sam Imade. And San Diego State can dribble it out. Aztecs looking very much the part tonight. They win going away against Air Force 88-54, their 13th consecutive win over the Falcons.
Yeah, they did exactly what they had to do tonight. They came out. Air Force won the 5-4, the first media timeout. After that, it was absolutely all Aztec basketball.
San Diego State doing it all. Defense, offense, though, as well. They shoot 60% for the game, living in the paint. And again, it's balance. 5 guys in double figures, everybody contributing all across the board in every aspect of a game of basketball.
And they have a lot of good players. That's how you balance it. As we look at the standings now, a half game ahead of Utah State. Tonight was an exclamation point for the Aztecs.
Now Utah State taking on Wyoming as we speak. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to catch up with Miles Heide and wrap things up here from the Air Force Academy. San Diego State 88-54 winners over Air Force tonight. They get it done on the road and maintain their spot at the top of the Mountain West. Nick Cope, Greg Herenda, joined by our man of the game. He's Miles Heide, coming off a season-high 13 points here tonight. Almost perfect from the floor. 5 rebounds, couple of blocks. How'd it feel out there tonight, Miles?
I felt good. You know, we're at elevation, so it's always tough to overcome that, but you know, it was a good team win. I thought we played pretty well, pretty low turnovers, and so, yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, man. How did that three-point shot feel? You deserved it. Number one, how did it feel?
It felt good. You know, I've been working on it over the past, I don't know how many long, so
right.
Being able to get one is good.
I said on the air that you do so much dirty work, offensively and defensively, that you got paid off by that three-point shot. So is that something you've done your whole life, just stay around the basket and work on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, I would say I have. You know, I've always been pretty tall, so I've always just kind of been the big man.
Yep.
But it's definitely helped just being around the rim. It helps my success now, so yeah, absolutely.
One thing that stands out when you watch you guys is just the balance in everything. Scoring, rebounding, distributing, defensively. How big is that to your guys' success?
I mean, it's very crucial. I mean, our culture is defensive rebounding, so if we can get that done, I mean, offense will take care of itself as it did today and kind of has how it has the past couple games. I don't know how many turnovers we forced, but it definitely helped our offense and be able to run in transition.
More than 20 by the end of the game.
You come from a small town in Washington. Were you the biggest man in town? How did you develop your game? Tell us quickly about just your progress.
I mean, I got a lot of help from my family and from my coaches and trainers. So, I mean, just being able to work every day and kind of do the dirty work, like you said. So that's kind of how my homecoming goes.
And San Diego State's a pretty good place for you, man.
Absolutely.
You're comfortable.
Yeah.
22 turnovers, 32 points off turnovers. That, to us, felt like San Diego State basketball.
Absolutely.
Miles, thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the win, and good luck rest of the way.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks, Greg.
Great job, Miles.
Have a good one, guys.
You too.
That's Miles Heide, season high 13 points for him. And here's a look at what's gone on around the conference.